Hey everybody, it's Mitch, and welcome to my next video. Today, we are going to be doing another Naruto character review. And today, we are going to be talking about Baki from both Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. So make sure you're decently well caught up. So let's get started. Now, Baki originally shown to be the sensei, or at least the Jonin in charge of the Sand siblings of Tamari, Kankuro, and Gara. Now, whether or not he's actually their sensei is another matter, as it seems he very well might have just been a Jonin put in charge of their mission to attack the Leaf. But either way, he was working with them, and he did seem to be fairly close to, fairly high up, and fairly close to the Kazekage, who of course is their father. So that does stand to reason that he may have actually been their sensei. So yeah. Then of course, when you see Gara become we'll skip to that for a bit, but you see him during that mission, being very critical and constantly making sure that they remember the mission, and that they're not just there to take the tuning exam. Heck, Tamari was held back multiple years just so she would be able to participate in the tuning exams this time, so that she could, just so that she could, actually complete the mission. With her being the oldest of the Sand siblings. Gara was quite young and the youngest of them. You see him talking with Kabuto shortly after you discover that Kabuto's a spy. There seems to be a little friction between the sand and the sound at that point, but they're able to smooth things out a little bit, and Baki, as a sign of good faith, deals with the spy of Hayate Gecko, who was eavesdropping on their conversation, and he took him out pretty easily. He was able to stop Hayate just by letting Hayate strike him with his sword, and then just catching it with his body and just being like, yeah, that's not a deep enough wound to do anything to me, and then just stopping him with wind style. Now, he may have used earth style or something to actually stop the physical sword. It's hard to say. I know his clothing probably helped a little bit. And he was just a very large, intimidating man, which made it a little easier for him to catch the blade. Inside his own shoulder, by the way. And then he used his wind style to use wind blades in order to take Hayate out in a very vicious manner, mind you. Then, of course, he was not ever really caught or implicated in that. So he kind of got away with that one, which, yeah. On top of that, after, the Leaf and the Sand became allies, he was one of the ones who was quicker to accept the peace terms. Once Gara became Kazekage, he did. Let's go back. We'll wait to get to that. I'm jumping ahead a little bit. So during the attack on the village, he was the one who very quickly instructed the Sand sibling. Assessed the situation with Gara and the Sand siblings, and gave them instructions on what to do for the attack, since Gara wasn't in the condition to actually do what he needed to do at that time. So he instructed them to go and flee and let Gara recover his chakra and then come back. It didn't end up working out because Naruto ended up stopping it, but still. He even then faced off against Genma in the battle arena, the exact same battle arena where the tuning exams were taking place, interestingly enough. So honestly, their match was almost like a match in the tuning exams, except for for real. Interestingly enough, you don't see much of that, but it seems that those two were holding their own against each other pretty well. Then on top of that, you see Baki show up again later. He shows up um, again in Shippuden under Gaara, who is now Kazekage. And despite Gaara being a former student of his, he respects Gaara's authority as Kazekage. So that's pretty impressive that he's willing to admit that one of his students has like surpassed him and become Kazekage like that. On top of that, you see him like you see that he does work diligently, and he's when not in combat, very much the thinking type, very focused on strategy, and very good with meetings and all that fun stuff. So you really see him act pretty strongly in that role. After Kankuro gets taken down by Sasori, you see him take the prudent step of going to the elders, who happen to be like Sasori's grandma and great uncle, and like beg them for help, because they know more about Sasori than anyone, despite the fact that they're retired, and he knows that they're going to want nothing to do with helping out. They haven't in years or decades. So yeah, but he does it anyways because he knows that they're the best people for the job. So he gets them involved, and Lady Chiyo does reluctantly agree. Baki is able to convince her, so that's pretty impressive. You see, when Gaara is eventually revived, you see Baki's one of the first people to like really show like joy at that. So yeah, you don't see him too much later. You see little bits of him during the war, but you don't see a whole lot of more Baki after that. So yeah, that's Baki for you. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like. Maybe subscribe to the channel. I do one of these on pretty much every character in Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Although I do mostly do videos on Dungeons & Dragons 3.5. So if you actually like D&D 3.5, definitely check it out. And maybe ring that notification bell so you never miss out on a video. But anyways, as always, I'm Mitch, and I'll be seeing you